Hello beauties, today we are going to dupe Arcana Palette. As always, I'm going to swatch every single shade and tell you what shade I'm using. If that sounds good, give a thumbs up and let's jump in. As you can see, we have a few extra shades that I'm going to also recommend and swatch for you if you didn't like the original picks. Again, beauties, the palette photos online are always enhanced with some form of a filter, so it's always difficult to know what the shade should really look like. Let's jump in. For this first shade, I have two options. The first one is Spacebound from Terra. That's, as you can see, is deeper. And the second one is more light toned, and this is actually one of the matte shades from the Best Mattes palette of Bella Beaute Bar. I believe that palette is no longer available. It's a pretty commonly found light pink shade. Now, this shade, and actually both of these shades, look a little bit more cool toned compared to what's in the palette from the swatch photos, but you all know those shades are usually enhanced. For this second one, we have two options also. The first one is an Iridescent Multichrome from Glaminatrix. This is IS3 or Iridescent something 3. And the second one is Velvet from Sydney Grace, which is a beautiful satin or shimmery shade. Glaminatrix doesn't always have these shades available. I actually don't even know if they're going to bring it back, but you all, I'm using the shades that I already own because I am on a low buy, and the point of these videos is to inspire you to use the shades that you own. And as you can see, the finish of these two is significantly different. IS3 could really complement this palette. Let me know which of these two do you prefer. This next shade is also a beautiful Periwinkle one. And this is also chosen from Best Mattes palette of Bella Beaute Bar. As I said, the idea here is to inspire you to use the shades you already own. I'm sure you have something similar to this in your collection already. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Dupe this next shade, I have two options. The first one is more vibrant. This is one of the shades from Genuine Gems palette, an old palette from Simply Posh that has not been available from them for quite some time. But hey, maybe you already own it, so you can use this one. And then the second option is Lucius from Devinah, and this one is obviously super gorgeous and plummy, but definitely more muted down than the first shade. And as you can see, these two are different in effect, but they are both gorgeous shades and super rich, and you can pick whichever one you prefer. From the swatch photos on their website, this next one looked like it has a blue and a purple shift, so I picked Lapis Lazuli, which is a deep iridescent multichrome from Clionadh. You should be able to see all the beautiful shifts of this shade. Friends, I also used this shade in one of my to buy or not to buys, where I used this palette to make a look. The video is tagged below if you want to take a look at what kind of looks you can make with this palette. For this next one, I also picked the matte shade from Best Mattes of Bella Beaute Bar. This shade looked like a great dupe for what's in the palette, and I actually feel like I've never used this before, so using it now. The next shade in the palette looks very different. In the photos of the palette, it kind of looks like a shimmery, warm-toned brown, but in the swatches, it looks kind of silvery. I decided to pick something special. This is Unexpected, a shade I rarely get to use, although it's gorgeous, gorgeous. This is from JD Glow. This is one of those gorgeous, wet-looking, one shimmer look kind of a shade that you cannot go wrong with. However, the only caveat is that JD Glow at the moment does not sell any shadows. They interestingly closed shop a little bit, but they have their website up still, and they are now selling a lot of face and lip stuff, so maybe they bring these shadows back at some point. This one is also from Bella Beaute Bar's Best Mattes palette, a very pigmented and gorgeous green. If you want to see this in action, check out my To Buy or Not to Buy, where I make a look with this palette, link below. For this next shade, I picked Grounds from Sydney Grace. Grounds is a beautiful, deep, cool-toned brown. Not super deep, but deep nonetheless. For this next one, I have two beautiful options. The first one is Illumination from Shine by SD. You can see how sparkly this one is. This is actually multichrome. And the second one is from the Glimmer collection of Glaminatrix. This one is Swallow. I truly hope that the camera captures the shininess and the shiftiness of both of these shades and the amount of sparkle that they both have. Beauties, in past videos, I've been describing what I see, but I'm starting to wonder if that's even necessary. Let me know below if it's useful to you at all for me to describe the shade, or, obviously capturing it on camera is going to be way more useful. For this next one, I picked Burrows from Copacetic. This is a beautiful mossy green, and beauties, I have some glittery particles on my hand that are remnants of the last shade. I could not get them off. Please ignore them. They're not part of this shade. For this next shade, I picked two distinctly different shades. The first one is the beautiful Graceful Confusion from Sydney Grace, and the second one is Quest from the Electric Multichrome collection of Clionadh. I've told you all I want to use my Clionadhs more often, so here's a chance. Graceful Confusion does have a plum hue, but clearly not even close to the multichrominess that is Quest. Quest is truly one of the unsung heroes of Electric Multichrome collection. I don't know why nobody ever talks about it. Just look at all the shifts. I selected two distinctly different shades because in the photos of the palette, this shade looks kind of brown, more like Graceful Confusion. And in the swatch photos, they look more like Quest. I'm telling you all, I don't trust these online pictures for a second. Have you guys ever bought a palette and then what you received looked distinctly different from the shades you expected to see in the palette? I hope not, but if that was your case, let me know below. Moonlanding from Sydney Grace is our next pick. The shade in the palette looks like it should have a smidgen of purple, but I don't think I own a shade like that. If you all own anything that looks like a shade in the palette, any single, or even if you own anything from a palette, let me know the shade below. I'm curious because I don't think I have that kind of a shade. This next one is Beyond from Sydney Grace. This reminds me of chocolate. Such a beautiful shade. And friends, I still have some glitteriness on my hand. It is not from this shade. This shade is pure matte. And for the last shimmer in the palette, I have these two beautiful options that are both super, super shimmery and glittery and sparkly. This one is Winter Solstice. Just look at it. And this one is from Copacetic. And the next one is Amalgam. This is a dimensional light from Clionadh. I believe this released as part of their Holiday 2024 mystery box. Friends, I used Amalgam in the look I made in the To Buy or Not to Buy, where I used this palette to make a look. If you want to check that out, it's a beautiful, very multichromy and shifty shade. A lot of sparkle going on, but hopefully you can see the shifts. And for this last shade, I reached to my Zeal palette from Glam Shop. This is the shade, and you can see I've already damaged the palette because these palettes are not magnetic, and that's exactly why I insist on buying magnetic palettes now, because I can't see my palettes being damaged like this. And you can see the name is Blush. I don't know how to say it, so yeah, that's the name. And this is the shade. It's a deep, deep, deep teal. And again, there are some glitterinesses on my hand. Please ignore that. That has nothing to do with this shade. Friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to write to me in the comments below if you want me to dupe any other palette.
If you enjoy these kinds of duping videos, my duping playlist is going to be recommended to you on the screen about now. I love you all. Have an awesome day. And until next time, bye.